How do you move a stone heavier than 4 fully loaded Boeing 747s? Not with any crane currently operating on Earth. Not with diesel engines, cables, or hydraulics working at that scale. And yet, someone did. At Baalbek, in modern-day Lebanon, 3 limestone blocks sit inside the foundation wall of the ancient Temple of Jupiter. Each one weighs between 750 and 800 tons. They were lifted roughly 8 meters off the ground and placed with sub-centimeter precision. No mortar, no visible gaps. They fit so tightly that even today you cannot slide a sheet of paper between them. Nearby, still partly embedded in its quarry bed, lies a single unfinished block. The largest of them has no settled popular name. Discovered in 2014 by a German-Lebanese archaeological team, it weighs approximately 1,650 tons. Beside it lies the famous Stone of the Pregnant Woman itself, around 1,000 tons. 3 sides of the larger stone were cut free from the bedrock. The 4th side never was. Something stopped the work. We have no idea what. The Romans built extensively at Baalbek during the 1st and 2nd centuries CE, end quote. Their engineering records were meticulous. Aqueducts, roads, temple complexes across 3 continents documented in stone inscriptions and administrative texts. But the massive platform beneath their temples at Baalbek? Almost no Roman record explains its construction. It is as if the builders who came later encountered something already there and simply built on top of it. This is the first chilling realization. The Romans, arguably antiquity's greatest engineers, may not have built the most extraordinary part of Baalbek at all. They may have inherited it. The lower foundation platform, sometimes called the Grand Terrace, shows clear signs of 2 distinct construction phases. The upper layers reflect Roman stonework and Roman scale. The lower layers, including the 3 trilithon blocks, are structurally and stylistically different. Archaeologists have noted the stone is dressed differently. The jointing technique varies, and the sheer scale vastly exceeds anything the Romans placed elsewhere. Some scholars argue the lower platform was built just before the Roman period, under Seleucid or Phoenician influence. Others see structural anomalies, suggesting something older still. The evidence remains inconclusive, yet it suggests at least 2 separate civilizations worked on this site across a significant span of time. Getting the megaliths from the quarry to the site is a problem that has occupied engineers for over a century. The limestone quarry sits roughly 900 meters from the temple platform. The quarry floor is lower than the platform itself. That means the builders moved multi-hundred-ton blocks uphill. Experimental archaeologists have modeled this using sledges, wooden rollers, wet clay surfaces, and organized labor teams numbering in the thousands. The mathematics suggest it is physically achievable under near-perfect conditions, sustained for extraordinary lengths of time. But no controlled experiment has yet replicated the full sequence cutting, transporting, lifting, and placing for blocks anywhere near this size. Here is the second chilling realization, and it arrives quietly. Structural engineers who have studied the trilithon blocks note something peculiar. Stones this large were not required. Smaller blocks, properly laid, would have served the same structural purpose. The megaliths exceed the load-bearing requirement by an enormous margin, which means the scale was a choice. Someone decided these dimensions were necessary, or desirable, or meaningful, and we have never recovered the reason why. Ancient writers noticed too. The Byzantine chronicler John Malalas described Baalbek's origins using figures from deep antiquity. Later Arab historians attributed the construction to pre-flood peoples or giants. These are not archaeological evidence, but they are not meaningless either. They suggest that even in the ancient world, centuries before modern scholarship, the origins of the megaliths were already lost to living memory. Recent geophysical surveys have added another layer of complexity. The platform at Baalbek extends further underground than previously mapped. Buried structures exist beneath the current surface. Full excavation has been limited by regional instability over the decades. What remains underground may fundamentally shift how the site is dated and interpreted. The third chilling realization is perhaps the most sobering of all. Serious archaeological work at Baalbek has continued for over 150 years. German teams excavated in the early 20th century. Lebanese and international surveys have followed. Every decade brings better tools, better imaging, better dating methods, and still, the central question remains open. Not because researchers have been careless, because the answer may simply no longer exist anywhere that can be found. The stone in the quarry sits exactly as it was left, cut on three sides, abandoned mid-process. The people who understood the technique well enough to begin it were gone before it was finished. Or perhaps the knowledge itself was what disappeared first. Baalbek does not require supernatural explanations. It requires something harder, an honest admission that our current models of ancient capability have edges we have not yet mapped. The megaliths are not a hoax, not a myth. They are limestone. They are real. And they are still waiting for an answer we have not yet found. What do you think actually happened in that quarry? And if you had to guess, what was lost first? The method or the reason for it? Which one keeps you up at night?